Today, we are very excited to do a presentation on the Wrappy ID implementation. This is based on SSI, or self-sovereign identity that runs on the blockchain. The Wrappy ID allows Wrappy users to have a decentralized and verifiable ID digitally signed by Wrappy that can be used in real world. Wrappy ID is powered by Hyperledger Indy. So let's try to have a quick look at what is Hyperledger Indy. First, it is a permission public blockchain. Public means it is accessible to anyone who wants to verify proof and validate identity at the same time. It is also permission since the network is maintained by a group of authorized entities that make sure that the blockchain is in a trustworthy state. This will be explained further in the next few slides. It is also running publicly under the sovereign network. Since it is running in sovereign network, the Sovereign Foundation have nominated what we call stewards to maintain the trustworthy state of the network. Some notable steward that maintains the network includes IBM, we have Cisco, NEC, Deutsche Telekom, Evername, DigiCert, and a lot more. Entities that issues credentials are called trust anchor. But to be able to become a trust anchor, you must first apply for a governance authority role to be issued by the steward to make sure that you comply with the standards set by the sovereign network. Since Wrappy can issue an ID or credentials, it will also be designated as a trust anchor. Now let's take a look at the high-level overview of the Wrappy ID. So first, the Wrappy ID will be generated by the Hyperledger Indy framework, and it will be created with a sovereign ID. So this particular blockchain will also contains all the credentials for the user as well as the KYC information data. At the same time, Wrappy ID is also powered by the Hyperledger Fabric blockchain. This is where the user transactions will be stored. For authentication, the front-end application will use the camera to be able to recognize the user and then authenticate the user using the Amazon recognition API. So we use the facial recognition data to link the user account with the sovereign ID or the decentralized ID, and then we also use the Hyperledger Fabric to store the user transaction. So that's how powerful the Wrappy platform will be. So now let's take a look at an example or demonstration of how the digital ID will be issued by Wrappy platform. To demonstrate the concept, we will start a local node, and then we will run a local Indy agent to be able to demonstrate how Wrappy can issue identity credentials to the user. But first, let's start a local node. So we're basically running a local node and a local agent that communicates with the node. Okay, so our agent is now running locally. We have an agent running in port 3001, 002, 004, 005, and 003. So now let's try to do the demonstration. Now we have two tabs here. One, the tab represents the Wrappy platform, and the other tab represents the user wallet or the user dashboard for the wallet. So in this case, the user basically log into the agent. The agent refers to the application that interacts with the blockchain. So in this case, we will try to log in as the user Alex. Once it connects, after successful login, it connects right away to the Wrappy platform. If you will notice, there's a relationship here, and it's pointing to the endpoint DID. The DID means the decentralized ID. Now, if you will notice, the connection ID is ending in HJH6. Now, if we switch to the Wrappy platform tab, you will notice that it's actually here. The endpoint ID for Wrappy is actually ending at HJH6. So let's go back to the Alex agent tab. Now, after successful login, it automatically connects to the Wrappy platform to be able to get your own decentralized ID or your unique Wrappy ID. Now, after successful connection, Wrappy can now issue the ID to this particular wallet, user's wallet. So let's do that. So let's switch to the Wrappy's platform's agent. So here we have just for demonstration is we have a very basic Wrappy ID structure. So what does it contains? It's just the name. We also have the birth date. We have the gender. We have the marital status, and we have the mobile. Now, since we have already established a relationship with the user wallet, as shown earlier, Wrappy can now basically issue the credential to the user automatically. Okay, but in this case, we're just doing it manually to demonstrate how the system works. How does the agent interacts with the blockchain and everything. So in this case, we will try to issue a ID to the user. So here we have the name, we have the birth date, we have the gender data, which is male. We also have the marital status, and we have the mobile number. Now we can send this, although I'm doing this manually, but once we have developed the full platform, this will be done automatically on the fly. So in this case, we will send this one to the user's wallet. This is the Wrappy platform now sending or registering the user ID for the user. So we will do that. Okay, now we have successfully sent. If we go back to the user agent's wallet, and then we go to the messages, the user will basically receive a notification that you have a credential offer. So credential offer means somebody, a trust anchor, sending you a decentralized ID or information. So whether you want to accept that or not, it's up to you, but in our system, it will be automatically accepted in the user front end. So let's try to do that. Okay, after successful negotiation and initialization and registration, if the user goes now to the wallet, here we have the credentials tab. The credentials tab represents the wallet of the user that contains all the credentials and IDs issued by the trust anchor. So let's try to open that. Now you will notice now the particular user Alex already now is being issued a Wrappy ID. So if we click on that particular Wrappy ID, we can see now the user information that was issued by the Wrappy platform. Once we have this Wrappy ID, we can now use this for other business purposes. Like for example, if you want to apply for a job, or if you want to apply for a bank loan, most of these institutions, like the bank or the a company that is hiring, they will try to communicate in the blockchain and will request for a Wrappy ID verification to validate whether this user is really the actual user he is pretending to be. Now, Wrappy ID will issue a proof. The proof is the identifier that yes, this is the person. We have validated this through a KYC, and this is the valid information that the user have. And it is digitally signed by Wrappy. This is to recognize that this is a non-tamperable and a validated proof. So that's how it works. That's the basic concept. We will have some more demo once we have completed the prototype application in the coming days. So we're very excited to demonstrate this to you. So we are now moving towards the decentralized ID, which you can use publicly, and Wrappy will issue the ID to all its users. Thank you very much.